everybody. I haven't made a spiritual video in a while, so thought I'd make one. you know, um, I know people were messaging me and all this that to make some, but I had to take some time. Um, but yeah, so where to start? I don't know. So this one might be a little long since it's been so long, but I'll probably put like the first 5 minutes on IG, and then from there, if anyone can't find the link to the As Above So Below channel, just DM me. I'll send you the link to this video, and then from there you could see the other ones or whatever. But um, damn, where to start? Okay, so uh, you know, a lot of things happen, right? Like I guess if you want to call it spiritual, um, and for example, one thing I was thinking about is like, because there's a lot of things I've dreamed, but I won't say because like early on, one of the things that always, that I never understood about like, like certain religions, and don't get offended or nothing, right? But, one thing I never understood about certain religions was like these prophecies of doom, right? Because with religions, it's like prophecies of doom, where as opposed to like indigenous culture, it's more about like love and peace and all this good stuff that, you know, like the eagle and the condor, that when they came together, there would be, harmony and peace and all this stuff, and we'd be able to teach, all the, the people that have gone astray and all that. So, so different, right? And so, even before really knowing about indigenous prophecies, like just being around like certain religions, it didn't make sense to me, right? Like it was just like, like self-fulfilling prophecies. Like, why would you? Like, I believe, even though like for me, right, I've dreamed things that came true. And I even dreamed things that I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let that happen. And it happened anyways. And I was like, so it kind of discouraged me that why even if I, like, as long as if I dream it, it's gonna come true no matter what. Even if I try on purpose to prevent it. But then, like Creator told me, like, there was an aha moment. Like, there was option A, option B, and then there was option C. I could have just stood my ass home, and nothing would have occurred because it was something bad. And then I was like, oh, if I go with this person, this will happen. And then I ended up, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out. I stayed home, and then someone else called me, and then I was like, yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong if I go with this person. This one I was like, early 20s, and then so it was like, then I went with this other person that, of course, this could not happen with this person. And it happened, and I was like, when it happened, I was like, damn, this is the freaking dream. I can't believe it. And then, so, um, but then it was like, I had that moment, like, yeah, I could have just stayed home. But, so that was my fault. So I really do believe, like, we could change. That's why, I have songs, we can change it, this and that. I don't believe it's set in stone. Like for me, I know it's different, right? Like, they'll show me certain things, like, you know, like I've seen past, present, and future. But I still believe, like, we can mold our own thing, So, and I think that's why I kept getting messages, because I think, seriously, that's it. Because I remember thinking, like, maybe because I have such a positive outlook, regardless, even though the people I was around were like, oh, the world, they'd be happy though, because they'll be like, yeah, when I see the world's, going bad, that just makes me happy, because that means we're closer to, the Messiah coming back and this and that. And in my head, I'd be like, huh? Like, why would you want the world to get worse? Like, you're promoting it, all your congregation, everybody, you're promoting to them. It's good for the world to go bad, because that means we're that much closer to the end times, where instead of us fixing it, right? So I couldn't understand that, right? And it's not to disrespect anybody, but I'm just saying the truth, right? So, anyways, so all that aside, right? There's a lot of things I've dreamed that I won't say, because I wouldn't want to put that into, because we're all energy, right? all that vibes, everything, right? So I wouldn't want to put that out there because I could get into manifesting things, right? Oh, like for example, like when I was little in high school, I fell in love with the movie Scarface. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have a scar or whatever. Next thing you know, boom, huge accident. I had a scar. I was all self-conscious. Like in the high school, people would be like, oh, the guy with the scar. I'd always want to wear hats or beanies. If I met a girl wearing a hat or beanie, I didn't want to like meet up with her without the hat or beanie because I was so self-conscious about the scar. Until I found out like girls like scar, they guys with scars, stuff like I don't know. So it was cool, but at first, yeah. But I manifested that. Like I didn't get that till I was older. I was like, dude, But back then, it was like, oh, be careful what you wish for, cause you just might get it, right? So I got it. I was always like, probably looking in the mirror like, oh, it'd be cool to be like Scarface or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I always used to recite, like copy the lines. Like, hey, how I get a scar like this hitting, whatever. Like I don't know who's watching this. So I don't want to be like cussing or doing all that stuff, right? Whatever, blah blah. I went all the way aside with that. So anyway, like that prophecy, right? Because even that, something's not a prophecy until you said it after the fact. It already came true, right? That's a prophecy. Like something that someone said was gonna come true and then it did. So why would I want to prophesy a negative thing, right? And I actually seen an older like some old thing that someone said that and it made perfect sense. I was like, wow, that's true. Like, so they thought like I thought, like, you know what I mean? Um, and it's beautiful. Like I wish I had those teachers. I mean, I guess something told me I figured it out regardless, but I would have wished I would have had those teachers growing up, right? But regardless, whatever. Like, I got all that knowledge, like, I guess the hard way, but it's good. How could I teach unless I would have gone through it? If I would have learned it from somebody else or through a book, I wouldn't be able to teach, you know. So I got even more hands-on training with those experiences, right? So someone said that, like, this older indigenous out there, I saw that he said that too about, like, a prophecy is something that you said and it came true. So why would I even want to prophesy that to come true, like all that negative destruction, right? So we still have, the window's getting really tiny, but we still have a chance to change the trajectory of, you know, the way we're going right now, right? So, and I've been reluctant. It's funny because I was watching this the Karate Kid thing, right? Like for all of you that know about the Karate Kid, there was a show that a spin-off that they did off of that called Cobra Kai. And so I just found out like it was on YouTube. So then I ended up seeing it. They were giving free episodes. So it was funny. Like I seen like, so I'm not gonna ruin nothing about the show, but I'll tell you. So what happened was in the show, there's a scene where the Karate Kid. He's older now. He goes and he visits Mr. Miyagi like at the gravesite. And I seen the tombstone. And I was like, what the hell? It had the same birthday as me, right? Mr. Miyagi had the same birthday as me. So I was like, that's so funny. You know what I mean? And then like the main, like the kid, I think he's like Mexican Ecuadorian. The main kid from the show, or one of the main kids from the show, um, his birthday is the same as mine too. So I was like, that's funny because it's kind of like that. Like Mr. Miyagi, like I don't like to, like I could live in my own bubble and be happy. I could have, but it's like my responsibility. So that's like Mr. Miyagi. He was like, oh, okay. Like I remember in the show, like in the movie, he was like, he didn't really want to teach Daniel's son, but he was like, okay, Daniel's son, and Mr. Miyagi teach you, like after or whatever he saw like Daniel's son like getting in trouble or doing this or that, he was like, fine, fine. But he was happy just being at peace, and that's kind of the stage I'm at in my life. I just want to be at peace. I think the whole first, and so another thing about, see, like the birthday, right? I thought it was funny. I don't know why they use Mr. Miyagi's, because my birthday is June 9th and it's, the 6th 9. I know people use it for all the freaky stuff, but if you really think about it, it's perfect balance, right? The 6 and the 9, it's also like the sign for Cancer. Also, I'm a Gemini, so the twins, right? The first twin, like one of the twins is all about suffering, blah, blah. The other one is like the conqueror, the king, the after, like, so, I think that's kind of like, it's funny because that represents my life, right? Like the first whole half of my life was all pain, suffering, stuff. So I never understood like why. It was always like, why does all this stuff happen to me, kind of stuff, right? And then after, like, I learned, it made me stronger. Blah blah. Boom, you conquer. Like when I see things that would make other people break, like I don't know. It's really hard to, I guess, or I'll stay in my little thing for a little bit, and then boom, like I can't even stay. Like even recently, I tried to go in a dark place, um, but it seems like I had to go backwards to go forward, and it's like they wouldn't let me stay in that. I would just want to stay. People were texting me, I'd block them. I'd be like, hey, I need to be alone, and then they'd keep texting me or calling me, and I'd block them. I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody. Just leave me alone. I just want to be in my little dark space. And I went back, listened to, I made some videos for some of my old songs, and I was like, holy, I couldn't even believe I was in that headspace at one point. So, and then that's what led me to finish this Greatest Alive video, was because I had all the footage since last year. And when my brother passed away, I pushed it to the side, and then I think it's just something I had to finish. So I was like, you know what, I was going to try to make it a big fancy video. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to finish it, and that's it. There's a little B right here. So anyways, like, that's why I had to go backwards to go forward. But even that, right? Like I was trying to be in my dark space, and they didn't even let me stay there. It was like, nah, get out. Like, you know, we don't want you here anymore. Like, get out of here. Like, I couldn't stay, and I felt it like pulling me down, like this crazy energy. But at the same time, then it was like, nah, like, no, you're not welcome here anymore. Or just thanks for the visit. Like, okay, it's time to go now. It was really weird. You know what I mean? Like, I think I was purposely trying to like stay in this dark space. And it's just like, nah, like it's something I've outgrown, I guess, you know what I mean? And this morning, it's funny, like I've been running into a lot of coyotes, like first with the whole thing, like I ran into three, and they were like 10 feet away from me, and we kind of, like, I guess, startled each other, like, the sun hadn't came up, I was walking in, and above there's like these electrical things, and so you could hear all the crackling, there's fog, so I guess they didn't hear me, I didn't hear them, and we just kind of like, whoa, and then they just kind of went off. Um, and then I ran into another one, but that one was like at my side and went over the hill. Then, today, when I got the idea to make this video, for some reason I glanced back, which I never really do. I always just keep going forward, right? Like, I glanced back, and there was a coyote that came from behind me. Like, it was up on the hill, like if it had been watching me, and it was like, boom. And I felt like, you know, because that's what the coyote represents, like resistance. Like, it's never failed when there's something I'm resisting that I'm not wanting to do. It's like, the coyote is the trickster. Like, he'll make it happen so that you have to do something. You know what I mean? Like, I could keep making. I don't want to make this too long, but it's like that's kind of one of the reasons too. Like, I had to go into a whole different mode because I had this job, and man, I might as well just do it then, because it's gonna be a long video then. All right, so if you hung out this long with me, well, thanks for listening. You know what I mean? Okay. So, anyways, so this is what happened, right? So I'd had this dream about during, it was like when there were two eclipses in 1 month, right? I think July or something. I don't know. But I had this dream about like this thing had happened. See, and like I told you, I didn't want to say it because I didn't want it to manifest. But I had this dream that, like, I was somewhere asking for my money. Like, where's my money? It's my money. How the hell could you, like, it's my money. Like, give me my money. How could you tell me I can't get my money? So, anyways, after I had that dream, I was like, nope, nope. But then, just in case I saved up money, I was like, all right, I'm gonna save up money, just in case, cause I know my dreams, and like, even I'm think positive, but let me just prepare. They gave me that dream for a reason, very off the wall. Just let me prepare, right? Sure enough, I was working this job, and damn, they were supposed to pay me every 2 weeks. It ended up taking them 6 weeks to pay me. You think about it, rent, this, that, but I had saved up money, so I was good. Like, you know what I mean? Just all the things, like, who wants to be, when they owe you all this money, and they're like the most anyone has ever owed me, like, you know what I mean? So, I was like, damn, like, give me my money. And it was just the principle of the thing. There was a moment where I was even gonna go over there, like all that old kind of mentality came, and I wanted to go over there, but I was like, right before I left the door, I was like, don't go, don't go, cause who knows, maybe I would have snapped, just been like, dude, cause they had even told me they had a meeting about why they hadn't, cause I think they said they sent a check, but then even it got lost and all this, so six, and that they had a meeting trying to figure out what happened, but they never said, okay, let's cut this guy a check, like, let's have him come down here and get the check, until I threatened like not to work anymore, and then boom, I got paid. But it took 6 weeks. That's how patient I was because of the dream. Because really, I was like, wow, they gave me warning. Who gets that, right? Like creator, spirit, whoever. Like they gave me the warning. Like, hey, this is gonna happen. Prepare, right? Like it's even in the like it ain't no bit like the Bible. It was like 7 year. Hey, there's gonna be a famine for seven, or there's gonna be goodness for 7 years, and then a famine for seven. So save up. So that's what I did. It was like they're showing you like, hey, you're about to come into a little problem, so prepare. And so I did. I was like, I don't want it to come true, but I'm not gonna be stupid and not. So I saved all my money. I was really not tight, but I was just not wasting on just going out to eat or dumb stuff like that, right? There was really no leisure or even that, right? Like I could have been like, oh, let me go shoot this music video. Let me go. I was like, let me make sure I'm just good, with everything. I don't want, so I saved my money. Sure enough, that happened. It took 6 weeks to get paid, and I was kind of frustrated, but you know what I mean. It is what it is. Uh, so all that aside, like that's, I mean, that kind of like goes. It doesn't go against what I say because I'm talking about like to me, I know a lot of my dreams come true, but as a collective, see, that's just me. As a collective, we shouldn't put negative energies out because all that I've always known, like I think that's why I try to make positive songs was because a long time ago I heard that a song could travel the world in a day. So I always thought like, damn, if I do a positive song, maybe it'll, one day it'll boom, like you think like that. Oh, but back then, it was before really like all this stuff now about going viral and all this. I had that mentality of, maybe I'll put a positive song that'll travel the world and in a day. But now you don't even need a song. Like someone, could make a video, put it on YouTube. Hey, let's all change the world, and it just takes for everybody to want to do it. You know what I mean? Where everybody just collectively, that's the energies. That's why it really all we are vibrations and all this stuff. So that's why all that. I wish, but how many people are influenced by these institutions that teach doom and gloom? I mean, even Hollywood is always putting like, oh, the end of the world. I always, one of the worst things ever was when they disrespected like the whole Mayan prophecy, which had nothing to do with these end times. They made a mockery of it, and then I heard a lot of preachers making fun of it. Like they'd be like, oh, the Mayans got it wrong, and I'd be like, wow, these scumbags. I couldn't understand, but it's fine. Like they're, even me saying that, that's not like that me brings my I even felt it. That brings my vibration down to their level, right? So it's lower vibrating individuals and entities and all this. Like you gotta stay above that, stay positive. You know what I mean? So always raise your vibration. You gotta promote that positive change. You know what I mean? But that's why they're always pushing everything down our throat. I don't know why. Who came up with the idea that it sounds and this and that? I guess it does. People like to see doom and gloom. Maybe that takes away the responsibility. We don't have to. You don't have to do the legwork, right? We don't have to fix the world because it's gonna, we're just gonna exterminate by itself. Hey, we're gonna exterminate and then blah blah and that's it. All right. So I don't know. I don't know if I taught like anything. I guess I know went from that to the Karate Kid to this and that. I just thought it was funny. But those are like cookie crumbs for me, right? Like the whole Karate Kid. See, like those are synchronicities that happen for me. And if you start paying attention, you'll notice them happening for you. See, this is my story, right? The reason I share it is so you could pay attention to your story. You'll start noticing whatever. We're all meant for something. Don't ever feel like you know, like that's always been my thing. Like see, really, like me, I just want to be in my own little cocoon, like Mr. Miyagi, right? Like, and then it's like, okay, Daniel, son, like, Mr. Miyagi teach you, like, but I feel like that's one of my duties here on this planet. That's why I incarnated in this or reincarnated in this time around, because that was my that was my thing to do in this lifetime, right? So when I even the coyote, like that's like I'm telling you, that meant like that's when you're resisting something, and they've been appearing so much lately. So, I mean, sometimes I could go a year without seeing one, and then something big like when something big's happening, I see it right before, and then boom, something big happens. So I've been seeing a lot. I knew some change was coming. They weren't gonna let me stay in my cocoon and just be in my own little bubble. You know, like I spent, man, probably within 1 week, I was probably like, hitting 40 hours just editing videos. Like, so I was in my own little world, probably longer, because I was, just editing, locked in a room, drinking coffee, editing videos, because it's really tedious. Like, it seems like it's all just like boom, but, I was just editing video. I did about 5, I think. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know where I went with this, but, I just know I haven't made a video in a long time. I just felt like it was time, I guess. So, yeah, all that good stuff. All right, hope you guys are good. Damn, 20 minutes. All right, peace. Yeah, oh, the architect, yo, I woke up this morning feeling like I'm the greatest alive.
Baby, don't you know you're the greatest?
You're the greatest, baby.
And you will never, never be alone, no. And if you ever start to feel you're worthless,
You ain't worthless.
I'm gonna sing it to you time and time again. Oh,
It's all
you're the
about dreams,
greatest.
dream, the pursuit of happiness. I struggled all my life just to see what happy is. But ain't no lie, girl, I can see it in your eyes. But why you act surprised that you been here all my life? Never left my side when those others split and shook. Crooks, I swear they real lucky I ain't overtook. But it ain't overlooked, I just found a different way. Make plenty pay and build an empire. Oh, he's no liar, oh, he spits fire. Aim higher, modern hero like Al Chicano. Found El Dorado the day I met you. Cause ain't nobody ever got to know me just like you do. Yeah, this is true, so fuck it, them foes. Yo, we throw them blows in right at they nose so they can smell roses flowing. Out the window with my ride with the place that read, he's the greatest alive.
Baby, don't you know you're the greatest?
You're the greatest, baby.
And you will never, never be alone, no. And if you ever start to feel you're worthless,
You ain't worthless.
I'm gonna sing it to you time and time again. Oh, you're the greatest, yeah, yeah.
I woke up this morning feeling like I'm the
You're the
greatest alive.
greatest,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But don't you worry about nothing, why she's the
You're the
greatest alive.
greatest,
And if you ever doubt yourself, yo, you the
You're the
greatest alive.
You the greatest alive.
greatest.
Look, haters gon' hate, why? Cause we the greatest. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes you just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You just feeling it. Woo. And I wanna feel this way forever.